We in here. We in here. We in here.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, with the most low rent, low budget, disorganized podcast ever created, or possibly the greatest podcast ever created, but we just low budget as fuck. Draw for the podcast featuring our moderator, King.
59 minutes later, we are actually getting started.
What's
What's up, everybody?
Times now, all of a sudden, huh?
I'm going to throw out times, yes, because I budgeted my time for tonight. And here I am at 9 o'clock when I thought we would be wrapping shit up. Just
CP time.
Online. This is past CP time.
I'll be there in 5 minutes. 5 hours later, I'll be there in 5 minutes. It's all right. You're good.
Let's welcome the rest of our crew. We got late ass Lou.
Yes.
T, how you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing all right. And Ant,
casual conversation, Joe.
Just sounded like it was killing Ant to stay quiet for that 30 seconds for us to go live.
I just put beer in my mouth, and that kind of calmed me down. We're the only cop.
So as long as you put things in your mouth, you remain quiet and get calm.
Let's exclude the mic from that.
but nothing else. We exclude the mic, but nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
You catch my drift. Catch where I'm going there.
Just got weird.
Such
really fast. So weird, so fast.
Got
All
so
right.
NBC
I want
that
to know why
fast, Joe.
you get so excited when you say stuff like that.
I bit my lip when I said it too. I was highly excited.
I'm thinking about getting his dick sucked, Ant. That's why. Let's not mince words here.
He's surraying your ass, nigga. That was
funny. Say Homer Simpson bushes. Did somebody just say Homer Simpson?
I do believe that was me, T, and it might be time for both of us to back out. It got too weird too quick. Okay, let's get started so we can go ahead and get through hopefully relatively
sing Teddy
quickly.
P for a minute. It's fine though.
So welcome everybody again to the Draw 4 Squadcast. This is our weekend recap, episode 3. So this week we are going to talk about the things that happened over the weekend. Lou went to Made in America in Philly, so we're going to give him a few minutes to tell us how that went. And then we're going to keep it real simple tonight. We're going to talk about the Power season finale and the latest episode of Insecure. So let's get started. Lou, Philly, Made in America.
I start first.
Yeah, nigga, you first because you was late. That's why. So all I know is people sung "Happy Birthday" to Beyonce in the crowd.
That's a goddamn shame that's what most people know, is that people for all of 40 seconds maybe sung "Happy Birthday" to Beyonce in the crowd.
Those are the two things that I know about this whole thing was that it rained on Friday and people sung "Happy Birthday" to Beyonce. That's all Made in America meant to me. So enlighten us.
It was a bunch of dope performances, a bunch of awesome musicians. I had to slow down for a second there. I got real excited. Exactly. Again, it's Jay-Z's annual concert festival is in its 6th year. It's done every Labor Day weekend on the Benjamin Franklin Parkway in Philadelphia. They shut down the entire parkway, build 5 to 7 stages, and just let at least 50 musical acts go at it. Awesome weekend. Great performances. I mean, the big acts that did it amazingly was J. Cole, Solange, Pusha T, Run the Jewel, Chainsmokers, who I did not know who the hell the Chainsmokers were. I knew one song of this. I would normally try to sing the song right now, but King would yell at me. But down, and then of course the show closed with Jay-Z. About 20 years of worth of material for about a 90 to 100 minute set. Fucking awesome. Granted, my back hurts, my feet still hurt because I'm old and I tried to go to this shit. But other than that, fucking dope.
Wait a minute, I hit the mute button. Okay, cool.
No, nigga, you didn't hit the mute button because I heard you literally say.
No,
You
I
didn't.
started talking before I said, wait a minute, I hit the mute button. Okay, cool. So we will. Oh, does anybody else have any fun things to share over the weekend? I know I went to Escape Velocity science fiction convention. It's pretty dope, but I won't bore you guys with the details.
Were there nerds there, King?
Oh, there were so many nerds there. There was like all this
Sexy
like
nerds?
I didn't. Oh, I have stuff to
Not
tell
sexy
you guys
man nerds, but
offline.
sexy female nerds.
No, I don't
Keen,
remember
Keen,
seeing any
did you get cosplay sex? Is that what you were about to tell us offline?
That is not what I'm about to tell you offline. What?
Oh,
In the-
okay. Never mind. I'll shut up then. Well, in my mind, that's what happened. Just so you know.
That is a weird thing to have.
Oh man,
Niggas, both of y'all. Oh, I'm just gonna take this moment to say I appreciate you, T, and all of your appropriateness.
He just don't
No.
vocalize it like we.
T be thinking like shit. He just don't say it like shit. That's what it be.
And that's the way it's supposed to be.
Nah, because we are
No.
family and we should be able to share our
Hey, if I
uncomfortable
had
conversations
cosplay
with
sex,
one
I'm
another.
gonna tell y'all. I'm not gonna shut up about it. Like,
Yeah.
first thing
You
I
probably
say.
forget. You probably
I
forget
would.
you had cosplay sex.
Most likely.
He'd forget like mid fuck,
Be like, well,
Mid stroke.
mid stroke.
where did Zelda
kinda-
come from? Why is Sonic in the corner sitting there looking at me?
Sonic. Wait a minute. Go gadget penis. What the fuck is going on here?
Have
What's your cosplay?
questions, but you know what? We're gonna save those questions for another episode. All right. So this week, this Sunday, was the season 4 finale of Power.
Yes, bitch. Yes. I'm not saying that to you, King. I didn't realize I said it as I said it, but I'm not referring to you.
I realized you weren't referring to me. It wasn't yes, bitch, in my general direction. So
It wasn't. It was for everybody. That was the world's yes, bitch.
It was
that I
a communal
thinking
bitch. I got you.
out there. Mhm.
Can I get a Lucas recap to explain to me what this is about? Since I don't know anything about the show.
Okay. hold on.
Lou,
Bitch.
even
Let me
though
explain what
I
happened.
explained this show to you a couple
Repeatedly.
of episodes ago, but it's cool.
So you want a
we'll have
recap
an
of the
interesting
episode of the show?
Breakdown.
No,
I'm
just to the show of this episode. I want to know
Oh,
because what I'm saying
in
there's
this
one.
episode,
Yeah.
Raina just died. Bitch, Raina was killed last 2 weeks ago.
Spoiler warning.
Spoiler
Fuck a
warning.
spoiler, bitch. Raina was killed 2 weeks ago because punk ass Tariq hid behind a trash can and he let Ray Ray kill her. So this episode opens up with Ghost, Tasha, and Tariq in a police station as Tariq is trying to act all sad while he telling a story. I'm sorry if I'm talking like a bad bitch while I'm saying this, but that's the point, and I need to talk like that. So while Tariq ass in there trying to cry, thank you, baby. While Tariq in there trying to act all innocent and shit and fake cry and shit after he know he the reason Raina dead any motherfucking way. But then Ghost and Tasha, they leave there, they go back home. All these motherfuckers in their house, they in there being sad and shit. Ghost grabs his bag because it's about to go down. So that he grabs his bag, he leave out. Bitch, Angela at the bottom of the fucking apartment talking about Ghost. I'm so sorry all of this happened to you. Oh my God, how can I help you? And Ghost like, bitch, go on my way. I'm about to go on my mission with Tommy. So Ghost and Tommy go looking for Raina's killers. So they go to the Mexicans first because they automatically think the Mexicans did it because
Wait. I got a question. If
Okay.
if you sad about something and a woman come up to you and ask you is there anything she can do for you by yourself, is that automatically a gateway to sex?
It normally would be, but
when
Angela and Ghost's
your-
relationship is complicated.
Yeah, when your former mistress comes and asks you about how she can help you get over the death of your daughter with your wife, it's probably not the best time to ask to fuck, especially when your daughter was shot down in the middle of the street.
Oh,
But
yeah.
you know,
daughter shot
we all
down.
have our
Okay.
priorities. So
I
it's
mean,
cool.
everybody has coping skills. That's okay. All right, good. Continue.
So they torture the Mexicans to find out that the Mexicans had nothing to do with, I can't get back in my bad bitch accent, but they realized that they had nothing to do with Raina's death. Instead, they find out through different channels, which happens to be Kanan, who is somebody who goes in season 1 to season 2 was trying his best to kill, who's now become a family friend, who's helping them find out who killed Raina. They tell him, Kanan tells them that Ray Ray was a dirty cop, is the one who killed her. So Tommy busts into his apartment, almost shoot this fat black little girl. He don't shoot her, he don't kill her, but he gets the information he needs to know where Ray Ray is hiding at. The whole time, Tariq, which is the punk ass son who should have died, ends up going to try to kill Ray Ray. First, he goes to Dre, who's a dirty little light-skinned nigga, because you know light-skinned niggas is dirty. And then he's
whoa. You can see that we're clean.
Ladies and gentlemen, the views of Lucas and Anthony do not reflect those of Keem and Terrence.
So, Dre tells Tariq where to go to find Ray Ray, knowing the whole time that he was supposed to meet up with Ray Ray because Tariq owed Ray Ray money, and Ray Ray, this sounds like the worst hood story ever. And Dre owes Ray Ray money. He's supposed to meet up with Ray Ray to pay Ray Ray his money, but he sends Tariq to Ray Ray instead, knowing that Tariq wants to kill Ray Ray for Ray Ray killing Raina. So we get to the big.
If this was Ant, Lucas would have told.
Luke would be like, "Oh my god, why
taking it forever to tell me."
It's been like 87 minutes. Go on, Luke.
Last week's the episode. So.
No,
we get to the big conclusion. We get to the big
summary, nigga. I said a summary. The summary is a paragraph. You were doing a line by line reenactment.
Yeah,
it's kind of in real time. Yeah.
So,
exit stage left, right now. Like nigga, you not supposed to say what's in parentheses.
God damn it! I'm trying to paint a picture here for Ann. So he understands why power is the way it is. So Tariq
is the Ray Ray's apartment. So far, somebody died near a trash can, and somebody hid in a dumpster, which is good hiding. Somebody turned down good grief sex, which I'm still trying to wrap my head around. Wrap my head around.
You said it right the first time.
And then I was stuck on that, so the rest of these names just kind of ran together. I'm sorry. Continue.
So Tariq is trying to kill Ray Ray for killing his sister.
It literally.
They go to his apartment and all of them converge into his apartment. And then in that process, Lil Tariq kills Ray Ray. After he kills Ray Ray, everybody covers up the body to make sure he don't get caught. We find out that Dre is extra dirty. He's with the Jimenez. The Jimenezes are now his connect. His connect is against Ghost Tommy. Ghost Tommy and Kanan are trying to kill Dre, and that's how it ends. Ta-da!
So let me ask this: are y'all happy with this? Are y'all happy with this series now? Because all I see online is people complaining about this series for this season. And was that just why Game of Thrones was out? Is that why they were complaining?
Is this why Game of Thrones was what?
I watched Game of Thrones, and every time Game of Thrones goes, they'd be like, "Oh, Game of Thrones is so much better than Power. Power been sucking this season." Like, are y'all happy with it now?
It's never been a competition between the two. It's always been Power and Empire. Game of Thrones isn't really a competition for. Power isn't a competition.
No. What I mean is that everybody is saying like, "Oh, Game of Thrones is awesome this week," but Power was let down. That's all I kept hearing.
I would say
just because they both come on Sunday.
2 episodes of Power, last 3 episodes. I'm sorry, Power were kind of a letdown, and Game of Thrones was closing their season. But Power started 4 to 5 episodes before Game of Thrones did.
So King,
I'm saying that right.
King, we're gonna retrace Lou's steps and talk about what we didn't exactly like about the episode or where it probably missed. Because one of the things that I noticed is this episode definitely started with a lot of underacting, and Tariq was the only one who could shed a tear as they're in the police station right after his sister was murdered. And they stood there with like the stone faces. I don't know if that was written into it or
it's written into it too.
It was written into it, so
Hey,
they were supposed to
whoever is
have the
doing a
straight
lot of
face.
shuffling, can you mute your mic? Because all I hear is
Yes.
snapping,
I mean, of
crackling,
course
and
it's Ant.
popping.
Of
And
course
Of
it's
course,
Ant
it's Ant.
opening the
Everybody
video.
I
knows
wasn't
who
going
it
to
is.
call him out this time because he said that I was racially profiling last time. But little light skinned nigga, mute your mic. Okay. Go ahead,
But
see.
so it looked like it was on purpose. And then they were actually crying in the car. So it looked like they held it together in the police station and then let it out in the car. But the thing, I don't understand the timing of this episode. Like, I don't understand how long is this after what happened? How all these people got in his house, in their house already before they got home. I don't
Where is
understand
the
it.
mama? Where is?
It was the night, but it was
Tasha's
it
mom?
was the morning after.
Yeah.
T.
It was the morning after.
Yeah, they said it in the episode. Like they basically brought Tariq in and they held him there all night.
Uh-huh.
So when they got there, they got home the next day after she was murdered.
Okay. So, but they still had other people there before they got there.
Oh nigga, they ain't got no keys to this place. You already know that. Everybody
No,
can.
you said last time, T, they got the shittiest doorman ever because niggas
The
just be
shittiest doorman. Like,
popping up unannounced.
and that was just another scene for under and overacting again. Like, I don't even know what her purpose was in that scene. Like, obviously she had to be there, but it was like, all right, you ain't gonna say shit. You're gonna say 2 we while you're there. We gonna play this in slow mo. You're gonna underact or you're gonna overact or whatever the case may be. Tariq still with all these people, they're gonna be able to slide out. How the fuck did he get out of that place? How did he get out of there without anybody seeing him if they're all in the living room?
Nobody's paying him any attention.
There's literally one door, and it's the elevator. Like, he has to wait on the elevator, and then he has to get on it. The door has to close before nobody saw. So nobody was paying attention to Tariq. All the people was in his room and shit. It was just the beginning of Power was a huge letdown for me. Aside from 50 rolling up on Tommy in front of the Italians, and the Italians looking shook, as Lou's little daughter would say, he was shook. It was a bunch of underacting. Like, although the most hated character right now is Dre, as far as I guess the group is concerned, I think him and Tariq kind of did the best acting in this season, in my opinion. Even though I don't think we just found out that Dre was a snake. I think we knew that for a while. I think they just found out that Dre is a snake. Yeah.
Yeah, they just found out, but it's been building all season. Like you've seen it. Well, actually, not even just this season, because in the seasons past, Ghost has been like, "Look, I'm trying to give you this opportunity to make good money legally, so that you can take your family out of the hood and not have to go through the bullshit that I went through." But Dre,
but that hesitation seemed real though. Like, that hesitation seemed kind of legit, because he was like, "How am I gonna make money in this club?" So the hesitation that he did there, like trying to go from street to legit, like you said, that hesitation seemed real. I think his progression in the series kind of has been natural, except this season to me, because I feel like this season he wasn't shit as far as the drug business was concerned. He wasn't shit before he left, and he wasn't shit when he went back in it, because he was really going back in it under Kanan, even though Kanan was in the background basically. But it didn't seem like he had that big of a part. And all the times that Tommy had to not trust him was legit. He had legit reasons for not trusting him, and he never looked in on any of them. It was like everybody's pretty much going through this season with blinders. Like, they didn't really pay much attention to shit. And then this big moment with Angela and Tasha when she was helping her get the location. I took from it, like, it was a good scene. I thought that was probably one of the better scenes in the episode. But the fact that all of them ended up at Dude's house at the same time or around the same time was comical as hell. And the fact that nobody knows what Tommy car looked like. Like, how can Tommy keep sneaking up on people in that loud muscle car? Everyone knows who Tommy is. The police know who he is. The drug dealers know who he is, and nobody is looking out for his car. Yeah,
remember they got a track on his car though.
Yeah, they got a track on him for sure. They're not looking for him at the moment because of that. But I mean, like, his game, like, Like, remember, weren't they in Tom? Were they in Tommy car at the end?
No.
All three of them. Who car were they in at the end?
No,
just the car.
Tommy, Ghost, and Kanan were in Tommy's
In a car. Yeah.
Yeah, in Tommy's car, right?
Yeah. That wasn't a sneak up though. I think
Dre
that's.
didn't think nothing of it.
Nah.
He didn't even see him.
Yeah. I don't know. The finale, it left. I guess I kind of felt about the finale the same way I felt about, and I know I said there's not really room for comparison because it's two different genres, but I felt the same way I felt about the Game of Thrones, like the last two episodes. They just kind of felt a little rushed. Like there was this urgency to get everything wrapped up so that you start this new drama in season 5. Yeah, I just think it was just the same kind of frustrations that carried over from the last few episodes with Tasha kind of making her own moves. Like, why would you go to the federal agent and ask her to trace your son's cell phone?
Yeah.
And then go, like,
I think she thought that was her only move at that point.
And she's hooked in with them. So at this point, Angela's just as dirty as the rest of them. So she can't really say anything on what Tasha's doing.
Right.
Yeah,
and
but
go ahead.
She's still casting this shadow around Ghost, even though, like, at this point he's kind of untouchable. Nobody wants to fuck with him because of the whole fuckery that happened with his trial. So, I get that, but yeah, I was just like, when you found out that he was missing, her first thought wasn't to call Tommy back.
Right. Didn't call Tommy at all.
She didn't call Tommy back.
She didn't call him back.
Even, like, I know she called Ghost and his phone was sitting there in the desk. She didn't call Tommy back. She went straight to Angela. And I'm just like,
I didn't pick up on that.
Didn't pick up on what?
On why she couldn't call Tommy back.
No.
Oh, the phone. Remember when he put in the car and he gave Ghost a phone? Because Ghost put his phone away. So what Tommy was calling her on was a burner phone. Any burner phone comes up as an unknown number. There's no way in hell you're going to call that number back. That's what I took that as.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I said some things in the episode made a lot of sense, but either you have to pay attention to power or come from a certain lifestyle where some of it makes perfectly good sense with certain moves that were made. Not all, because some of them made absolutely no sense at all, but some of them made perfectly good sense.
See, but like what you call The Wire did perfect job of explaining that to the audience, and I think it's because they cut these episodes down. I'm literally going through the episode as we're talking, and they rushed through this episode. They rushed through this season.
It felt rushed.
But okay, do you guys feel like, all right, the last 3 seasons of Power all had very good finales or decent finales because they had good antagonists? Like, it was all good storylines coming up to that point. And right now, like, what's his name? Ray Ray being the bad guy at the end of this episode didn't really leave a lot to the imagination of next season, honestly. Like,
yeah, because he just popped up at the end, and I'm still trying to figure out where did this kinship all of a sudden come from with Kanan and Tommy and Ghost? Like,
okay.
Well, that came when I thought that came when I don't think Tommy had an issue with Kanan.
He never really had beef with Kanan,
right? And I thought Ghost and Kanan happened when Kanan killed what was her name? Jukebox. I thought that's when that occurred.
I can explain some of that, but not a lot of it. That part,
like,
him and Ghost getting together makes sense, but it's just difficult. But it makes it
like he was
makes
thrown in
sense
at the end. It just seemed like he was thrown in at the end because this is his show.
Kanan?
Like, and he can't not be in like the last couple of episodes. That's just the way it felt to me. So I'm just like, just all of a sudden you pop back up like, hey, I'm back in town. And then, hey, I found out, I think I know who killed your daughter. And you know what? I'm gonna ride with you to go get this nigga. I mean, I know that
I mean,
he's at this point kind of a common enemy because he was working with Jukebox. But
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
my biggest questions of the whole show was where was Tasha's mama?
yeah.
And the little girl can speak now, like the other daughter, the not dead daughter.
She's a
definitely
full grown
popped back up.
toddler all of a sudden.
She's a toddler now.
She was
Yeah.
a baby last year.
And now she's a toddler. And like I was watching, I was like, you know what I bet happened? I bet her like real life parents were like sitting around listening to like the writers like tossing back and forth ideas, like, you know what? You can't let Tyreek die because he's the only boy, but you got 2 daughters. Why don't you? I mean, you know, if anybody's gonna get killed, I think it would have everybody shook if Raina got killed, and then you know, because you still got one more daughter left, and she can get some lines and a bigger paycheck.
But you know who was the worst character throw-in? I think it was Lorenz Tate.
Yeah, maybe that'll play out more.
I think that plays out more next year. Him and Dre as character, like I saw a lot of things in this season that I did not like at all. Like I'd say to anybody, episodes, the moment he gets out of prison, the show went downhill.
Mm-hmm. It did.
Because it was trying to explain a lot of things at one time. And I understand that because it's not, Power's only ever been 10 episodes per season. Mm-hmm. So you got to wrap things up a little quick. Like this episode, I understood why, what T was talking about, I understood why Tasha and Ghost were very stone-faced with the police. It makes sense because of their lifestyle. When you're in a lifestyle where you've been hiding everything from the police, you are not going to break down in front of them to reveal anything that could reveal more that will make you a suspect in some way. I think Tasha showed more of that when she was talking to the snake lawyer dude, and she wouldn't reveal anything because she knows I can't. Even when I'm grieving, you got to have that same face on because you live a lifestyle where you should become accustomed to this. Just because it's your daughter dying, while other people will have different impact on them, you're not allowed to have that same impact in front of people. So I understood why they hid that because, and not only did I understand it, I thought that played perfectly into the characters that them two are, that they're so trapped in life that they can't even grieve properly when their daughter died.
Right.
So I like that part.
And even when their son kills somebody, it wasn't even like, you know, we need to sit down, we need to talk about the repercussions of this. God. It was like, no, you do exactly what the fuck I tell you. You go down here, take these clothes off, you burn them.
That's the best scene of this episode.
Too. I thought so too.
Of her breaking down, this is what you do. But again, I think it also reveals to Tyreek, that's the first time he actually get to see who his parents actually are.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And did you catch?
Now he's one of them.
Right. Did you catch the scene in the end when he's staring in the mirror like Ghost did in the beginning of the series? Remember, in the very first season, Ghost was always in that bathroom mirror staring himself in the face, and that's what they showed Tyreek doing.
And looking at the family picture and noticing him trying to balance 2 lives. And that's what his son is stuck trying to do the exact same thing.
Now, that actually was decent. That actually was decent play with everything. But so I spent maybe 20 minutes after the show went off explaining to New York. I was explaining to her, she hadn't seen any of the past seasons, but she saw this season. So she noticed the bad acting. She noticed Tommy is like kind of a blank face actor and this. She noticed all those things. But what I told her is that I thought Power survived off, in the beginning seasons, survived off of not being Empire. You know what I mean? Like, because it was on cable, Empire was on Fox. And they pushed all of those things in the early seasons, sex. Like, remember, every episode had a sex scene. Every single episode. Porn. Yeah, it was like show Cinemax. It was like Skinemax, Red Shoe Diaries, where it just felt like every episode they were just showing you why they're not Empire. And
I'm listening.
Now you're.
I figured that was going to pique your interest, man. Yes.
But now they're in the part of the show where sex doesn't make sense. So now they're kind of exposed because we're left with the bad acting again.
Wait, doesn't make sense?
I think you're left with the one thing that TV on network or cable isn't providing. Hood stories. it's the reason that an author like Terry Woods can sell 8 million books, and outside of the Black community, most people don't know who the hell she is.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's the hood stories. Like on certain levels, some of this stuff plays more realistic, depending on the life that you either lead or coming from or understand. So some of it I can understand perfectly well. Like, okay, yeah, that makes perfectly good sense why Tasha would go to Angela, or it makes perfectly good sense why they will be as stone-faced as they are. It makes perfectly good sense why Tommy cannot pick up on anything that Dre is doing. Like, to me, all of that makes perfectly good sense because those characters are people who I'm used to seeing in my life. If you're not used to seeing it, it's not going to make much sense to you, and it's going to throw you off.
That seems like bad writing. I mean,
I think it's the difference between, like, people are here. They were checking for Empire because it was so fucking ratchet, which is why I kind of refused to watch Empire. I started fucking with Power. Well, y'all know, for 2 reasons. But the second reason was because the first reason was to show support, but the second reason was because even though I didn't necessarily agree with how like some of the characters are being portrayed, they weren't ratchet. Like they're still real people.
Right.
Oh, I
They're
was
still
on
real
mute this whole time.
He just realized he was on mute this whole time.
Did you have something to add, Ant?
You have plenty to talk about at the insecure portion of the show.
It doesn't. It won't make sense now. The timings are off. I said like you were after man booty is what I said at some point, but now it's too late. I'm going back.
No, it doesn't. We're gonna wrap this up, Ant.
Hold on, real quick. Yeah. Why? Okay, they wrapped up the body right in the rug.
In the rug.
But left the blood on the floor.
Because the police, they already heard the police sirens, so they didn't have time to sit there and clean up the whole scene. All they could really do was get rid of the body, and
which is the most important part, because the blood means nothing.
The blood doesn't. The bullet
clearly
does.
I'm not, and that's you see Tommy went around picking up the shells, but that one in the wall he did not see.
Right.
And they didn't have time to go through and inspect.
And there's no telling that one in the wall is actually
ain't no murder without a body.
That may be from Ray Ray.
Ain't no murder without a body.
Say it again, Ant.
Ain't no murder without no body.
But again, to quickly close this, so Keem can move on to the next one. Power in its 4th season is doing what all shows do at this point. At this point, it is no longer attempting to get casual viewers. At this point in the show, you give your core audience everything you think they're going to want to see. So at that point, you're going to isolate anybody who's new to the show. It's the same reason why I could never get into Game of Thrones, or would never try to, because by the 4th season of every show, you cater only to your core audience. And it makes perfectly good sense to do so, because that's the audience that's going to be around.
You built that audience up, and now you can go weird places. Like you can go to
exactly. It's you go from Smart to a Tyler Perry movie in a heartbeat, because my core audience is what matters at this point.
When we re-listen to this, I feel like we should play a drinking game, and every time Lou says perfectly good sense, we should take a shot.
We're not,
because I'm not going to explain why some of that makes perfectly good sense to me. Let's just say it makes perfectly good sense at times.
It makes perfectly good sense.
Okay. I'm pretty sure I've been drinking every time he said it anyway. So
I realized earlier he said one wild ass word in the 2nd episode that we did, and then again later. But I feel like because I can't remember the word is irrelevant.
Was it used yada yada yada? Is it pretty much his yada yada yada?
No, we'll come back. Yeah, it wasn't yada yada. It wasn't like his yada yada, but it was. I can't remember what it was, but he laughed like hell the 2nd time he said it in the 2nd episode. But
I will breeze through shit anytime that I think it could land me in somewhere I don't need to be.
Got you. Okay, so let's all get our bad bitch hats on so that we can talk about.
Yes, you got to do a snap on that one, King. You better snap.
Okay, I can't. I feel like if I could get a good tongue pop, like I can't do a hood.
Hold up. That joke?
Yes.
Hold up, who was that
So
popping their tongue? Was that Ant? Ant, was you popping your tongue?
it was not me. I can say that much.
I think that was Ant popping his tongue.
It was not me.
But you on the corner later, you popping your tongue that way.
Hey T, don't be
On
trying to
light
blame it
skin,
on me.
light eyes.
You know I wouldn't try to do nothing like that, especially with
Oh,
Lucas.
light skin with light eyes, popping your tongue like that. Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're still making good
Mhm.
time.
Mm.
So
This is why you gotta die.
last-
If we ever do a crime together, you gotta get you get to die. Not because I think you gonna snitch or anything, because I ain't getting locked up with you, Lucas.
Lucas is pushing you into all the dicks. All the dicks. It's
Man.
down. Lou
Every inch.
Lou is about to be like, rape him! That's gonna be it.
Just throw me to the wolves.
He's got pretty eyes and a pretty mouth. Take him.
Mhm.
Making descriptions. So what's your cellmate like? Oh, he got pretty eyes, nice lips. Like,
You remember Joaquin Phoenix off of Gladiator? That's what I'm gonna do. Put the thumb up, and I'm gonna put that motherfucking thumb down.
Okay.
like, why I gotta
All
fight
right.
for my life every night?
We're
Every
not gonna
night I
make this
gotta
about
prove my
your.
leg.
We're not just gonna make this about your anal virginity here. We're moving on to Sunday's episode of Insecure. So in Sunday's episode, we find Issa. She gets a call from Daniel. He's trying to apologize for
what though, King? I'm sorry.
Right.
Whoa.
Whoa. Yeah, 'cause you got some stuff. You have to
Yeah, I'm about to
moderate
start. I'm gonna
King,
be quiet.
King, you have to
I'm gonna let King
moderate
finish.
this. You have to moderate this. Go ahead.
Moderate this. We got 3 angry black men here.
Can I get through the synopsis first? Can we do that before y'all start going
But
crazy?
not like a loose synopsis, like a real synopsis.
Like
Blue synopsis.
um,
One
yeah.
word.
so- Lunopsis.
No blue synopsis.
so Daniel is calling to apologize for how things turned out for the evening, and they seem to have kind of made amends until Daniel says, well, I guess now we're even.
Right.
And then shit just turns bad again, and Isha tells him, don't ever fucking call me again.
No, she
And
ain't just
talks-
say that. She called him
I'm
a
trying to give a
disrespectful
synopsis.
nigga. Oh yeah, I'm
I'm
sorry.
trying
I
to give a
asked for that.
synopsis.
So, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right,
you asked
you're
for
right.
that
Let me
shit.
moderate.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
asked for this
I
shit.
You asked for this.
I had some feelings. I'm sorry. Let me rate them there. Let
You
me just put this on mute.
You always
until
ask for
You
shit,
do
but
that,
you about
yeah,
to get
you
the
really
whole
do.
Put this on
jump.
mute
You always
until-
backing out.
All
That's
right,
the
go
problem,
ahead.
man.
Co-sign her, Lucas. Go ahead. I'm just gonna put myself on mute until you done.
So she explained to Molly what happened. So now Molly is like the ride or die friend. She's like, no, we about to go load some eggs up into a super soaker and nut all of these niggas off with egg. And she kind of explains between the both of them that she just felt disrespected and she felt embarrassed because she cared for him, and how was he going to do that to her, blah blah blah. So then we move on to Molly, who has now given Dro a key to her apartment, and they're talking about the party that the bougie friend is going to have for her husband.
That's gonna be me. Let y'all know that.
This is where Molly learns that Dro's wife is actually going to be there. So now she's starting to feel some kind of way about it, and Dro kind of comforts her and makes her feel better about the situation. She lies and says she's cool. What am I missing here? Oh, okay, so then we go to Lawrence's job, where they're all kind of in their little conference room, and you find out that Lawrence and the coworker have already gone on one date, and that they are supposed to be going out for drinks. But Lawrence forgot about the party for his friend Derek. So the girl volunteers to come with him to the party. Am I doing okay so far, y'all? Am I missing anything?
Nah, you good, King. Keep moving.
Okay.
So good.
So You
That was
just make
inappropriate.
everything creepy and you just everything.
Look, Lucas got to do that to me, and I got to do it to you. Oh,
Wait a minute. We will
Now you
not. We
got
will
me.
not phrase it that way. We will not phrase it that way. Lucas got to do it to me, so I got to do it to you. We will not say that.
At least T looks out, and you get him.
Wait a minute.
Why don't you and Lou just make each other uncomfortable and leave me and T in our little aloof ass comfort zone over here?
Ain't ready for my.
That'll work for me.
For him.
Yeah, y'all just out creep each other, and I'ma stay over in the distance
for all of YouTube to see.
Live stream that shit there.
Okay, so we get to the party. Again, Molly is uncomfortable because the wife walks up, but Dro seems like he's kind of trying to mitigate between the two of them. So Molly spills her drink. He goes to get her a drink, but then he's still trying to be a gentleman to his wife. Molly tries to sit beside him, and the friend quickly points out, no, bitch, you're supposed to be sitting on the other side of the table. This is why we put name tags down. Issa swears, she says she's not drinking. She brings her brother as her date because she's trying to keep everything cool because she knows that Lawrence is going to be there. Oh, she also finds out that Lawrence blocked her on Facebook.
That's big.
So they're sitting there, everything is cool, they're all kind of like, Molly is looking at Issa, Issa's looking at Molly, and then Lawrence walks in with his casual ass date, and everybody kind of takes a moment like, oh, this nigga, okay. So they make room, and then Issa looks at Molly with her discomfort because of her whole side piece situation. It's like, how's your night going? And Molly looks at her and is like, how's your night going? So, like, they're kind of beefing with each other at this point, but both in fucked up situations. Molly starts observing
This
how
is
well...
just like my recap. I'm just saying that.
It's not, though.
It's not really. This is about 40 minutes shorter.
So Molly observes how Dro and his wife are interacting and how great they look together, and she's feeling left out because all the shit she's saying nobody's hearing because she's at the other end of the table. Dro gets up to go use the bathroom. She casually makes her way to the bathroom, and they end up fucking in the bathroom.
Don't stop, get it, don't stop.
And she's feeling good for like 0.2 of a second, and then he gives her the side piece treatment of, I'ma go out, you hang back here for a little bit, and then come out later.
Is it?
I know, because you know what? We gotta go this
If y'all don't let
King
finish this soliloquy about Insecure,
that's the word. That was the word.
Soliloquy.
Y'all niggas listening, take a shot. You never thought you was going to hear soliloquy 3 times on what's called a low budget podcast.
Oh, the low budget podcast.
Fancy,
which also
bad and bougie. Yes.
Like how many podcasts are you gonna hear nigga and soliloquy used like interchangeably? Yeah, so then they come, Issa sits down. Actually, no, that's out of order. Issa and Lawrence, Issa makes some kind of snarky comment about Lawrence's date. She goes outside, her and Lawrence get into it. Issa comes back inside, sees Molly coming out of the bathroom. And yeah, I kind of forget what happens there. And then Issa gets home and
that's pretty much the end.
Apartment. Yeah.
So hold on. Are we going subject by subject, or are we all?
Just go. You ain't talking the whole time during Power. You might as well just go, nigga.
All right.
Let us know how you feel. Yeah.
So the first storyline with Issa and what's the dude's name? Hip hop producer guy.
I'm gonna need you to know name.
Daniel.
Oh, no, you won't when you the whole last episode, silver haired girl, an old woman with short hair.
Right.
Don't be that pot calling the kettle black.
So Daniel,
ask your aunt questions, Aunt.
So Daniel was in his. We've all been there. We just kind of like, I don't want to deal.
We have not. What?
I was talking to you, Keem. I wasn't talking to you, Keem. I was talking to us. We just kind of like, oh, all right. You know what? I'm just gonna say sorry because I don't want to deal with this. We can get over it. Yeah. And then you rationalize a little bit too much, and she goes off. she doesn't have any awareness of her part in anything. But first, Daniel ain't doing nothing wrong. If I play with the trigger of a gun while it's pointed to my face, I cannot be mad that the bullet hit me. I can't. And that's what she did. I think then you go to, what's the next storyline? Oh, this whole thing is really told from, I believe, a woman's perspective, but more or less, excuse me, I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna be wrong, but it's not gonna be wrong. Like a black woman's perspective that's outside of that community. I think they're gonna misrepresent open relationships and like different vet community type lifestyles and things like that, where I really do think they're going to make it so he's lying about this. And, you know,
They're there already, because it feels like... You talking about Daniel?
I'm talking about... No, I'm talking about the guy with the open relationship.
Dro.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Is that real name? Like, so, and they're making it seem like he's like disregarding any rules that an open relationship would have. And I think like T's take on it like last time, where it shouldn't even be a close friend like that. Like that's like crossing a bunch of laws. But even there, and like you're not really caring. He's not caring about the mentality of his friend at all. So even if it was a casual friendship stuff, he's not really caring about her feelings long term or what the expectation is. But I will say this: he didn't treat her like a side chick. That's how she felt, because if you were with your partner, I mean, you might not necessarily want to tell people you were, fucking in the bathroom. So you might be like, all right, you want to go out first, and then I come out a little later. You know what I mean? Like, that's a normal couple thing. I mean, we've all been, well, I think I can assume we've all been there.
Everybody take a shot, because Keeman's about to say no, and not all of us.
So I don't think that was some side stuff thing, but I think that
I guess the only side part was that his wife was at the table.
Well, not only that, but the way Ant just said it, like, you go ahead and go out first, I'll follow behind you. He didn't even do that. He was just like, I'm gonna go.
He went out first.
Like, he nutted and bounced.
Yeah,
it
that
wasn't
was
even like, you okay? You know, are you?
But all this happened in the time that it would take to take a piss?
It seemed like somebody would have asked some kind of questions. Like,
people would have known if two people just get up and leave.
How is girl not gonna smell pussy on him when he get back to the table?
You're not thinking like a TV person.
I don't.
No one smells pussy in television land.
And I'm starting to think that not only is this written by somebody who doesn't know about that lifestyle at all, but also somebody who just thinks all guys are just messy. Because this is a messy situation for no apparent reason. If you're trying to listen, like having an open lifestyle.
We gotta find out why Key broke out like that. Because it was a slow build, and it was.
Moving on.
So moving forward.
Moving forward.
No, nigga, you will say why you bust out laughing.
Why will not?
No. Let's move forward. It's not about me, y'all. Okay. Just not about me. It's not about me. That's not the laugh. It's not associated with me. I just got it. But I think that open relationships, especially I think in my experience among African American communities. What?
Lou's light bulb came on late as fuck.
Y'all ain't shit. I swear y'all ain't shit.
You just no.
I will take that. I will take that award for the night. My bad, y'all.
Nope. Moving forward. But I think it's really it's casting it's kind of like how 50 Shades of Grey really did not represent that community well at all. I feel like this is doing the same thing, and I think that because the show is primarily, I think she even came out and said it's not really written for men; it's coming from the woman's perspective. Like, but you know what? I guess a lot of women do deal with the situation where a guy tells you one thing and that's not the real setup. So, I mean, I guess I'm kind of torn, but I just hate that something mainstream is casting a bad light on certain people's, lifestyle choices.
But it's not necessary. It's not. Is it really casting a bad light on certain people's lifestyle choices, or is this something?
I don't think so.
I think it's a common thing that guys, I'm not going to say all guys, but guys who are out trying to be unfaithful, I think it's one of the things that they do to make things a little bit easier. Like, no, it's cool. We're in, we're open. And so
But it's also a
then that
thriving. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
just that's what they do to make a woman feel comfortable, to ease them into doing that and not feeling as bad about it. Because then you don't feel like a homewrecker or anything like that. If you're thinking, oh, his wife is out there doing the same thing too, or she knows about this, so it's cool, it's not a problem. So I don't think that is putting a bad light on the actual lifestyle. I just think that it's kind of maybe it's something that you don't experience because you don't have a vagina, but it's something that
that's not true.
Women experience quite
You
often.
have a vagina?
You would not get happy and excited about something like that's not, which is not true. But I was going to say that guys get that same thing where, oh, me and my husband are this, or, or he's a dick and he's abusive. And, so people, I mean, it's both sides of the aisle. My thing is that this community is almost never projected it in a positive light. So to reinforce stereotypes that are already kind of, I think that in our community, there's a lot of different stigmas and stereotypes, certain things that don't really need to be, and we don't really understand the genesis of them. So I think that to have this come up and it be, I hope that he's not lying and she's just not. I hope he's just really bad at it, but I don't think they're going to go that route. I hope he's just really bad at it and not following just common sense rules. I think that if, because the way they're doing it is, he does not care about somebody that we're trying to see as like one of his best friends. He doesn't care about her feelings at all in this matter.
That nigga lying.
Yeah. So that's my thought on that one. And the last storyline is the Lawrence one. If I was Lawrence, I probably would have brought somebody too. But because I would assume she's bringing that guy, and I don't think I could really face that. But I probably just wouldn't have went. Like I didn't get how their relationships were set up, but apparently they're Issa's friends, right? First,
they're Issa's friends, but Lawrence made really good friends with Derek, the husband,
along the way.
Because I couldn't understand why he got an invite either, and then I had to remember, oh yeah, they're actually boys.
They were at the bar together.
But again, somebody should have, mediated that situation. Man, this is all real, still fresh. I feel like he's gonna get the bad rap because he's a guy that brought somebody else, but he didn't know who she was bringing, and it was quite possible she could have brought dude. You know what I mean? And then been Lawrence sitting there like,
you still show up by yourself, and I mean, because it was an invite only thing, so you still kind of show up by yourself and you stand tall in that. I mean, he don't always need protection, but anyway.
No, if I go to an enemy camp by myself, it's to blow shit up. Like, it's not me to sit there, because also, like, again, I don't think that people really hold Issa accountable for a lot of her attitude. And I like her character because her character is flawed, but I don't think people will hold her accountable for a lot of her actions. And if they do, it's like really no consequences to them. Like, so I feel like I wouldn't know how I was showing up in this situation. Like, I wouldn't know, like, I'm going up to all your friends with you. I don't know how we left it. I probably wouldn't have went. Unless it was to prove a point to myself, I probably just wouldn't have went.
That could have been solved with a simple text, though. Like, hey, you bringing a date? No. Okay.
I mean,
Keem, would you do that though? Would you do that?
A text to the ex?
Yeah, like will you text your ex? Like, especially if Giant talk since
Well, when we broke up, I got excommunicated from the whole crew, so it's not even a problem for me.
As well as you should have, King, because that's what normally happens.
Right? So, like it's not. And when they said it, I was like, "All right, I got other people. It's cool." Like I have my own support system.
Is he in Derek's wedding? If he's in Derek's wedding, no. Is that what this was for? I can't remember.
No, this is for Derek's birthday, but
it was Derek's.
They're boys,
yeah, bro.
The whole issue is him bringing a date, though. Like, dude, unless the invitation says +1, what's the point of bringing a date?
Right.
Yeah, and my whole thing is this chick was so meticulous with her planning, where she suggested that Molly, like, hey, here's a stylist that you can go and see. And then Dro and his wife, she suggested that they color coordinate with the color scheme of the party. And then she even reached out to Issa to say, hey, I'm inviting Lawrence.
You're talking about the wife, okay?
Yeah, the wife. Like
Tiffany,
she was
I
so
think
meticulous in all the. Yeah, yeah, Tiffany. I don't understand how he would have thought it would have been cool to bring
Yeah.
somebody without like
I don't
saying
think it
I'm
was
bringing a
conscious.
+1.
I don't think it was conscious, but I bet you subconsciously it was like, I'm doing okay too. You know what I mean?
So-
like, yeah, I see you with this guy. I'm not sitting here by myself,
I think it was
I can't.
conscious though.
Do you really think it was conscious?
It comes across that way.
Yeah, it
Because
does.
remember, they were supposed to go
Well-
out for drinks, and then he comes out the blue and says, "Well, I know we're supposed to go out for drinks, but I got this little thing that I need to go to." At that point, you're making a conscious decision to invite her to it.
She invited
Well,
actually-
herself.
Yeah, she invited herself because he said, "Can we do 9 instead of 8? Because I have this thing that I have to go to real quick."
But then, if that's the
Well, I
case,
can
you
just go
really
with
tell
you.
that broad, "Nah, you can't go. Fuck you doing inviting yourself." I'm sorry,
All right. So hold on that
Got real
because,
it got a little personal for a second there.
but I'll go back to the beginning once we get to not all the way back to the beginning, but I did have a conversation over that subject after the show went off, and it was when she invited herself. You know, New York was like, "Oh, she know what she doing. She
But
knows
she
she
does,
doing by
though.
invited herself like that and this. But look, I was like, okay, while she does, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's not a negative thing because I asked her, I was like, if your friend, if someone who you was talking to, who you care about at the moment, or who you think you care about, is like they're about to go to this thing with their ex and it's kind of messed up, blah blah blah. Like if they say, well, do you want me to go with you? She don't know the whole setup of the thing. He knows everything. She doesn't know it. So volunteering to go is giving you that opportunity to say, nah, I'm okay. I can go on my own. If you don't say that, then it's not just that she knows what she's doing. She's actually really been a good friend in that situation, in my opinion.
It just speaks to Lawrence's fuck nigga status.
But no.
But Keem, if you was going to something and your ex was going to be there, I would say, do you want your woman to go with you?
We all
or yeah, anybody would say that.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, I'm
do
not
you want me to
offering
go
that.
with you.
You and your
Okay,
own
me and Terrence would. Me and Terrence would. If you weren't seeing somebody, me and Terrence would be like, "Hey, you want us to come with you?" Like that's what a friend would. That's just basic friend level
I'll
stuff.
be that
to me.
nigga ass for you, but I'm not coming to no social events. Or line.
Great to know after 5 years of attending weddings, family events with no date. But
Hey,
I go to a family event. That's
yeah, I
different.
go to a family event.
I can
If
let
you
you
need
slide and
somebody
dance
to be
before I
standing there,
let
be like,
go.
"Hey, who's that guy? That's Anthony." They're like, "Oh, look at that." Like, you know, I
Look at that light skinned nigga there.
If you need a jealousy photo, I'm there for you. I'm there. But like to me, I think that I feel it's sexist, but I think that there's a different level of communication that women have that guys just don't do. Like it's a higher level where y'all can have this whole scenario about what y'all might pick up on. I think there's things guys have that women don't pick up too. But I think there's this whole thing that women have. They can pick up on these social subtexts that be like, "Oh no, you didn't. I know exactly what you're trying to make with this statement." And so is that what you're saying?
Me?
No, not
I know
you.
we all lost right now. Am I the only one
like,
lost?
What I'm trying to say
Everybody
you're
is,
say
clearly
yes.
on some Venus and Mars
Everybody
shit
say
right
yes.
now.
Yes, and that's what all we're talking about.
But with the girl, so wait, hold on. Let me see if I can translate. So what you're asking is from a woman's perspective when she invited herself, and we're all like, "Oh, that bitch knew exactly what she was doing." Is that what you're talking about? Where women communicate on a different level? So by her offering to go after he said, "This is an event where my ex is going to be," like in a woman's mind, or at least in my mind, and probably the same thing with New York, and probably a few other women out there.
Yeah, I don't want to
all sitting
generalize.
around, like-
I don't want to generalize, but
like we're sitting there like, "Oh, you just trying to go ahead and show her like, oh, hey, bitch, look, he moved on. He's with something better."
I mean, she ain't even gotten the dick yet, right? Like, they even did I miss that in that episode?
No, I don't think they've had sex yet.
So she was just claiming. Is that what you think? Because I didn't get that from her personality. But again, I'm coming from a male's perspective.
I mean, by putting herself, but I don't get the comment though. I don't get the comment that she knew what she was. Yes, she did know what she was doing. Like I think all people know what they're doing. And
I wouldn't.
And it's not like she's not after like his friendship part of it. Like, not just friendship, but it's not like they're not even romantically kind of interested in one another, because they are. So, yeah, she knew what she was doing, but it was still a good thing. I don't put her in a bad light because she invited herself.
Is he talking that slow, or am I the only one hearing that?
Oh my gosh! All right, so
I thought our time ran out. We're all sitting here like
looking at the live
frozen.
Is the live about to go off? Like, is that a technical issue? All right, let's.
I think it was a technical issue with T's mic.
That's how T talks.
Yeah, no, he sounded okay on our end. On my end anyway, he sounded normal.
Well, you got that expensive equipment. You got maybe you listen in milliseconds. Well, I don't have that.
That's why I kept on saying T because I couldn't hear him, and it went really slow, like movie slow.
But again, what was going on there. I've had exes ask me to bring me this. I mean, I've had people who are going to things with their exes and they bring me, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll go. Like, and I'll go. I'm not going to show up anybody, or to be like, hey, look at me.
Yeah. And they don't really like you. They trying to get you stabbed. They're trying to have a confrontation at the end of the night. Like, so you just gonna bring this pretty motherfucker up in here, throw his light skinned ass in my face? That's what the fuck you gonna do?
I'm too dark skinned for shit like that. We automatically fighting if I come to that situation.
Like, I knew it. I knew you were looking at I'll Be Sure Funny every time the old school videos came on. You kept trying to tell me you wasn't.
But if y'all thought that your exes were gonna bring the guy they cheated on you with or woman they cheated on you with to the event,
do you keep thinking that that's what she thought?
No, I'm thinking that's what
Lawrence thought.
Which I think is a reasonable. I think that's a reasonable expectation.
But I
think it's reasonable.
I don't think that he thought that though, because he was actually trying to go by himself, and then she was like, "I'll go with you," and then he was like, "Oh, okay."
He was legit gonna go by himself.
But let me ask you this: so you know it's gonna be socially awkward.
So are we saying that all of this could have been handled by a simple phone conversation?
I'm saying a simple text. Hey, you bringing a date?
Communication is key, as we like to say.
Because if Lawrence communicates with Derek, and Derek tells him, "Nah, man, it's invite only. You got an invite. Don't bring no date." Which that's what normal people do when you get an invite to something.
So it's on Derek.
The person who invites you.
So
it's on Lawrence.
It's on Lawrence.
It's on Lawrence, because if I give you an invite somewhere, you're not just gonna bring a date without telling me about it. You'll hit me up and be like, "Hey, man, I'm can I bring such and such with me?" And I'll be like, "Cool, not a problem." But you're gonna ask. You're just not gonna spring this person up on everybody.
But then he thought it was a bar setting. Like, didn't he? I think when he was like, I didn't know it was sit down.
Whatever he thought, it was his fault because he didn't ask anything.
He didn't clarify. And
he got an invitation.
As Keem said, this
Derek,
is the continuance of his fuckboyisms.
Yeah, knowing Derek's wife, he should have known this was about to be some extra shit. Like,
yeah, because that bitch is not normal. She is literally me.
No, I don't like how I don't like how the light skinned people are portrayed in this series.
I don't like light skinned.
Who? Derek's wife?
Yeah, but she's normal. Her and Derek are normal. The issue is Lawrence.
Derek's wife is normal?
Yes, she's literally normal.
Bougie
That's
fuck,
the way she's bougie, but she's normal.
She's pressing a lot of stuff. Oh, okay, maybe she is normal then. She's pressing a lot of stuff. Though.
She sucked dick. She's the only one that sucked dick. She is normal.
She is normal. She is normal. And let's. All right, that's not a fair. It was 3 guys and 1 woman, but
no, Keem has not had bathroom sex. Stop asking. I wasn't asking.
A lot of germs. A lot of germs.
So on the bathroom sex part of it, though, did y'all notice that it was during the cake cutting part, and he went to the bathroom first, and she followed him, like right after he got up. She knew what
she was. Well, actually, Molly got up to go break things off right then because she was already feeling uncomfortable. She was feeling left out. She was feeling side chickish.
Yeah, because
when she
oh my Epps face. That's what you thought, King.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought because I saw her.
You can't see my face. If you can see my face with that bullshit, King, she got up to get some dick. Everybody knows she got up to get some dick.
Yeah.
I can see what you're saying, though, King. I can see what you're saying.
The last time I went to a political
because she did make a face when she got
it was real awkward. Like, it was real awkward.
You follow people. Hush, Ann. You follow people for 2 different reasons. So yes, some girls will get up and go to the bathroom because they're trying to make their move and have a little freaky, sneaky bathroom sex. But
some dick. You can say it. It's fine.
She didn't Like that wasn't her thing where like she like walked up to him and started pushing up on him. She was like, you know what? I'm sitting here, I'm looking at y'all. Y'all look so happy together. Maybe this isn't. And as soon as she started to break things off, that's when he got all cuddly and stuff like, oh, no, we look good together, but we look, whatever the fuck he said, the slick shit he said to her.
Because in reality, she didn't want to break it off. She wanted reassurance.
It's a classic move, King.
Right.
Next thing you know, she comes to the door. She leans a little bit on the wall. She flings her hair back just a little bit, not sexy, but serious enough to say, I don't think this is going to work. That doesn't mean you want some dick. Every man knows that. That's a universal sign that, okay, I need to lay you out right quick.
God
That's what that
forbid. God forbid I don't have to have any more breakup talks. I'm gonna need to pick some different wording then. Because if I'm saying I don't think this is gonna work,
you want dick?
I'm saying I don't think this is gonna work. And if you pull your dick out in front of me,
it's not the words. It's your actions with the words.
Because she could have did that at any other time.
I'm not gonna follow you to the bathroom if I want to break up with you.
No,
that's a secluded place.
Why
with
call
a married man?
Right.
But
yeah,
so
that makes no sense.
Why would she break up with him at the dinner table? You think she's gonna yell across the table, Dro, us fucking isn't working?
No, after
can't she just after the whole night over? Can't she say something to him? What would be literally the point to follow him to a place he's about to pull his dick out? Come on,
because she's feeling some kind of way at that
right
at that moment. She's feeling some kind of way. Like
that's why you do it over.
She was feeling some kind of way, and she got exactly what she was feeling to get.
Yeah,
and
then he kept talking. I mean,
you ain't never been a hoe king. That's the problem.
That is not the problem. That is not a problem at all.
He loved her daddy. Her daddy will understand her actions. Her actions are very hoisms. Hoisms.
I ain't gonna say it's hoism. I think she just needed. She was trying to fill her need, and then this. We've seen it. We've seen it. I think this. I
don't think it's for dick though. Like me
Dick and
and
connection.
my New York had the same conversation of. She does hoe shit, but she does hoe shit for the wrong reasons. Like she's not doing hoe shit because she's in it for the pleasure. She's trying to find somebody to connect with so that she can be in a relationship, and she's going about trying to get into a serious relationship the wrong way.
And she's kind of settling for this because he gives her this attention and this focus while he's with her. And then when she goes back to reality, when the wife comes in. Now, again, that if this was him in a real open relationship, this would be handled a lot different. I think.
So it's not.
Could we talk about really quickly? Could we talk about how soft Lawrence came across at the end of this fucking episode?
Can we talk about how soft you just said soft? Like I thought you were caressing something when you said it.
About to molest Snuggles and whatnot.
But like the whole time you fucking like that whole play that Lawrence did, he came across as the softest nigga in the world to me.
Because he's a fuckboy.
Yes, he's a fuckboy king. Yes, it was real fuckboy shit he did there.
But that whole argument, I was just like, oh my gosh.
So is Issa a fuck girl?
Yeah.
Yes, she is.
Whole ass fuck girl.
Yes,
whole ass fuck girl. Certified fuck, a card carrying fuck girl.
But men don't call them fuck girls. We just be like, you trifling ass bitch. Like that's the men portion of
actually he called him a hoe, and that's exactly what he did at the end. He was like, the whole time he was out here being a hoe. And don't believe in hoes, but they're out. They live.
Like Santa Claus and Easter Money.
It's a thing. They exist. And
all right. This is my thing.
That's a conversation for a different day.
Yeah. I'm gonna. All right. Go ahead. Continue.
He stopped mid-sentence.
He did. So T, you took notes on the episode. So let's start. Let's go through your notes. And I think this is probably
prepared.
What we should have done in the beginning.
T studied this shit.
Let's go through T's notes, and then we can discuss your notes a little bit, and then we'll wrap it up so everybody can get back to their life. 59 minutes late.
I don't think Drock wrapped it up in that bathroom scene.
It does not seem like he did.
No one has ever wrapped it up in any episode of Insecure.
Or
But
show.
they did because they showed there was condoms on the nightstand when Daniel was having his.
That don't mean you use them, Kim. I have condoms.
1 point. Damn it, Lou.
The podcast.
Go ahead. Conversation,
Safe sex. We do
See,
safe sex.
Your notes,
We do not represent.
sir.
All right. So anyway, the title of the episode was "Hella Disrespectful." I don't know how y'all feel about that title, or if it really applied to this episode or the previous episode.
No,
more
it
so just
applied
how
to
the
this episode because last episode the title was hella blows. And
Hella blows.
that's
Yeah,
it.
that was accurate. But what
And-
was hella disrespectful in this episode?
Okay, so you have the follow up between Issa and Daniel. Everything was good until he was like, well, I'm just, now we're even. And she's like, wait, what do you mean? And the shit that he said after that made it seem like he did that. He nutted in her eye
did it on purpose. Yeah.
Right. So that's disrespectful. And then you have Daniel bringing the date unexpectedly.
First of all,
Lawrence.
hold on. Daniel fucked it up for all of us because we was all sitting there like, nigga, we was rooting for you.
We was all rooting for you.
Rooting for you.
And
Like,
then here he
learn
goes, like,
from
I'm
it.
just saying, now you know how I felt. Like,
Like, this
nigga,
nigga
you
just
were
keeps saying dumb
you
shit.
were
He
golden.
was in the clear.
You were so
golden.
golden, and you just fucked it up talking too much. You should have just been like, you know what? I'll talk to you later. Or even after he said, now we're even, he could have just been like, you know what? That was a stupid joke. My bad. And it would have been good, but he just kept.
That's what I
But we
told
recognize
you.
that he's technically right? Like we all recognize that logically he's right.
They didn't do it
Okay,
at all
but what
in
you're
the-
not
in
going to
the-
do is nut in somebody's eye as revenge.
He didn't do it as revenge. He didn't do it as
Speak for
revenge.
yourself, King.
the conversation that phone conversation that they had kind of made it sound like he did it on purpose.
No, it didn't.
All right, so hold on. Yeah,
Yeah, it did.
I understand both sides of that, but I think what Ant is leading towards is he actually said it as a joke. Like he did not say I did it on purpose or well we're kind of even now, aren't we? He said I guess that makes us even. He said it as a joke. But because she's always the victim or she feels she's always the victim, she was already pissed off when she answered the phone. She was getting ready to go. She answered the phone. She didn't want to answer the phone. And when he said that, she was like, I can't believe, even if he was joking, she can't believe he's joking about it. So she just took it straight literal for what he was saying.
I don't.
And let's remember, she treated
does
him
play
like
the
a
victim.
hoe.
I'm gonna agree with you that she does always play the victim, and
You love that role.
I think she was good. Like when they got to I hate you. I don't know why I hate you. It's like the hood chick's version of I love you, but like he was in there when she was like I hate you, and he was
what's
like
old girl
Baby
name?
baby girl.
from
Yeah,
Baby Boy.
Yep.
Baby
hate
boy.
you, Jody.
I hate you, Joe.
Yeah.
I hate you too. I love you.
So
That was sexy as hell. That was sexy
Yeah.
as hell.
that was okay. Nope.
Why is that the scene y'all remember from Baby Boy? I'm just asking.
I watched
King
it.
just said it.
Remember.
What do you mean? She just said the words.
I just remember
Make
that.
them tacos.
I hate you too, little nigga.
that was two different scenes
'Cause that's
though.
Lou was
That's
like,
that's
why
probably
did y'all
been
remember the
you.
other hate? He was like, why you ain't
Right
remember
together,
the other
hey.
hate?
two different
We remember the
scenes.
sex hate.
But
Lou
we
remember
are
the-
digressing. We're digressing and we're segueing to something different. Let's not
All right,
fall
all right,
down
all right.
that rabbit hole.
Hey,
so-
hey, real quick though. Next drunken movie review, Baby Boy. There you
Shit.
go.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, so they were good. They were good at that point, and then he made the joke. And I still feel like they still would have been okay if he'd have been like, you know what, it's a stupid joke. Sorry, my bad.
Right.
Too soon. But
Too
no,
soon.
instead of just being like too soon on both counts, he's like, I'm just saying, no, now you know how I felt because you like, no, that was not the right time to say that. That was not like if you're read the room, nigga. Read the room. That wasn't cool.
You know what Daniel should do? Daniel should just be like, "Fuck you," then. Like because she treated him like crap this whole time. Like this whole time, she treated Daniel like nothing but crap. So I mean,
and he came back for it.
He came back for it.
One thing I don't think Insecure gets credit for.
Back for it.
And that is a perfect segue to what I was about to say because
go ahead, T.
One thing I don't think they get credit for is their wordplay in the episodes. Like when they had that conversation, not just the title, but they were having that argument, and then the song that played right after it, the hook was like, "I can see you coming." It was like okay. And then the very next scene, or one of the scenes, she was on a bus with the little kid, with the Spanish kid from who stole all the treats from her that first time, the snacks. Mm-hmm. She was like, close your, talking about how to take the PSAT. And she was like, "Oh, it's just multiple choice. You can just close your eyes and you'll get something." And I was like, "Yeah, they have."
Did you silent laugh on that, T? Did you silent laugh on that one?
No, I laughed out loud.
Did you?
I laughed out loud, and then I wrote notes on it. I was like,
Go ahead with the rest of your notes, T.
All right, so old girl telling everyone they went out. So yeah, when he got to the office, to the conference room, she now I can kind of see what you guys are talking about. She knew everything she was doing. He thought that, okay, we went out, it's between us, I don't want everybody to know. Everyone already knew they went out. Just like he knew that she slept with the other dude in the office. Which kind of played with awkward black girl a little bit. Because it was like one of the cooler people in the office slept with the nerdy guy in the office. It was kind of the same thing that happened.
Oh, you're right.
Black girl. Mm-hmm. And then that nerdy dude was in this episode. He was at the table, at the dinner table, at the birthday dinner table. He was there. Right. I think his name was A on Awkward Black Girl, but he was in that episode too. Lil Rel, I feel like they're slowly bringing him into the show, as if he's going to spend some time in LA.
Lucas.
There's like a slow.
Why did you say Lucas like that, nigga?
Because your brother was
Lucas.
But I think it's like a slow burn that they're bringing between him and Molly. I thought it was kind of, I don't know what to take from the fact that she repeated his joke to Dro. Like exactly how Dro said it, exactly how Lil Rel said it to her, she said the same exact thing to Dro. And like just went for credit on it. It just seemed like, all right, you thought she was feeling Lil Rel a little bit, but not really. Yeah, it's like they're gonna force it at some point, it feels like. But then she just took that whole interaction and applied it to her more messed up situation. When that one is a perfectly good, like that laugh, she couldn't just enjoy that laugh between her and him. It's like she took it back to the messed up situation. That's what I got from it.
Well, she couldn't just enjoy that laugh with him because she's not feeling him like that. She's not checking for him like that. Like they're cool, but she actually has feelings for Dro, and she's trying to, even though she knows, like, I would hope anyway, that she knows that nothing is ever really going to come of the situationship that they have, she's still trying to bond with him on these different levels. So
because she can't recognize a healthy relationship. She can't recognize a healthy relationship. So
at this point, a healthy friendship.
Right.
Because I don't think she hasn't rejected him in the same way that but not in the same way immediately as she rejected every other dude who came at her. And this was before we even knew about Dro. She was rejecting dudes like that.
Yeah, but this is also different because they have a work relationship and they're kind of friends. So at this point, he can be like, you should take me out and show me around. And in her mind, she can be like, okay, yeah, I mean, we cool, we friends or whatever. We can hang out. That doesn't seem
like that's going to work at all.
Didn't she do something like, okay, or something like that after what he said?
Yeah, like it was like a long pause. And like that smile went away, and she was just like the mom from Friday. Okay.
I was like,
they're not even a believable, right? That's not even a believable couple.
What?
I hope they don't force that. That's so horrible.
But it'd be a healthy relationship for her, though.
He's beneath
Yeah.
her.
He's not beneath her.
He's actually above her. In the
Right.
show,
TV
right?
Lucas is not beneath her. Do you hate him because he is you, Lucas?
It felt like that. It felt like that for a while, right? It felt like that.
He stole my life.
Okay, next note. T.
Daniel actually being blamed for what happened universally. We already talked about that. Issa versus Lawrence throwing haymakers. We already established that they're both fuck people. Was she right to actually go with Lawrence? I think we talked about that. I think we covered most of these. The bathroom, gentrification as an undertow throughout the later part of the show. Because remember at the table, they were talking about some process. Like I think it was Tiffany and the other dude. I can't remember. Keem, correct me, or somebody correct me. I thought it was Tiffany and the host.
It was
her
the
husband.
hood. It was the hood friend that was like,
The
yeah,
hood friend. Okay.
yeah, like they're doing good things in your
Right.
neighborhood now, Issa.
Right.
Oh,
And
I
they
missed
were
that
like,
completely.
they was talking shit about her neighborhood for a second,
Yeah.
and then
And then the
Oh,
brother
the
was like,
rent
I came by
increase.
there, yeah.
and then at the end, right? She came
The
home
rent
and they had a
increase,
rent
that just
increase.
set her the fuck off. That's what it was that set her off.
I gotta be honest. I was drinking and watching this show, so I missed all that subtext.
You drink through everything.
Why?
man. What?
I gotta be honest.
You got to be honest, like right now. What? This is not a shock.
I
At least not
mean,
to us. It might be a shock to the listeners. But
I'm not. I mean,
Let
I'm
me
not
ask y'all,
drinking.
because this is a serious question. Let me ask y'all.
Yep.
Is Isha's brother possibly the most interesting character on this season?
I like him.
I like him a
Is he-
lot.
Is he
Wanna get
possibly
to
the
dinner?
what?
Is
Most
he gay?
interesting character
character.
on this season. Like,
Interesting.
I think he is. I think, well, maybe I find him interesting because of his humor. The plan of comic relief of it is pretty dope, especially with him and God, I don't want to call her the fat lady.
The hood
What's
friend. I've been calling her
The
the
hood
hood friend.
friend.
I don't know
The
her
hood
name.
friend.
It's a comedy though, right?
Yeah, but he's coming
It's a
in playing
comedy.
an extra part of the comic relief. Their relationship, those two, is hilarious.
When she said, "When you die, I'ma dance," I lost it.
Yes,
Like-
yes, yes.
Like,
And
and
then-
you passed the saw, and he just held the saw and looked at her like, "No, bitch, you can't get the saw." Like, when
And
you
then
die,
my
I'm gonna
bad.
dance.
The song off of that Tyler Perry movie where Kathy Bates died played in my head the moment she said it. I hope you dance. That joke played in my head the moment she said that. God, that was funny.
Oh gosh. Okay. Any more notes, T?
That's it.
Anybody have any like 60-second or less final thoughts?
I have 74 notes I need to go through.
Fuck
What?
no,
Fuck.
no. Mute your mic. All right. Thank y'all for coming.
Are you closing me out? Bullshit.
74 notes. How can you and T not have some notes that overlap? There's no way that you have 74
God.
additional
I'm
notes.
just mad.
I didn't
This
say
shit-
my notes were for Insecure. They were for this podcast. I wrote 74 notes.
No.
Oh.
no.
Mainly when
shit.
Ed was talking. Because
Oh, all right. So I guess on
Can I point out, I haven't said nigga as much in my life as I have since we all became friends. Like,
I have.
So can
it's a-
we briefly just talk about us going live today and how that feels?
oh, does the link work now?
Yes,
Yes,
finally.
Oh.
The page is finally live as of today. So
Yes.
we have 5 prior episodes. We have 2 weekend recaps. We have an introductory show. We have a Squadcast topic show, which we will get back to. Hopefully it is Thursday, but
Thursday.
I have horrible news for everyone. And I have the solo show.
The what?
Skip over the
Horrible news. You know, I'm gonna start thinking, Lucas. I can't handle that. It's a Thursday.
We'll talk about that off air.
And then we have the late registration deep dive 12th anniversary jump we did. So we got 5 videos on the page. Dope. We're dope. You should go check it out. Maybe you'll like it. Maybe you'll hate it. fuck you if you hate it because we don't care. But still subscribe so you can hate every time we post a new video.
And click the notifications. Click the notifications bell so that you know when we post.
Yeah.
Oh shit, we supposed to do that? Fuck.
Yes.
I have not done that for anybody I have subscribed to. I was
What he
wondering
means is he does it for everybody he likes, and he would do it for us if he listened to us.
Oh.
No, he wouldn't. All right, so, all right. Are we done?
All right. I think we're done.
I mean, that's why we have a moderator to close us out. But
Dude,
yeah, I was going to.
Our moderator let us go for an hour and 30 minutes.
No, I was asking if we were.
But you know what? It was productive conversation. So shut the fuck up, Lou. Yeah. So we.
I didn't get to shut the fuck up at the end of the cast. I didn't get to shut the fuck up at the end of the cast.
We're not done yet, and it could still happen. So don't get too
anyway,
cocky.
check out my YouTube channel, Drunk Geek.
Whoa! This is not about you. This is not about you. What?
He plug his own YouTube channel.
I'm giving my ain't shit token of the day to Ant because the level of ain't shitness. Yeah. All right. So everybody, thank you so much for rocking with us again this evening. We will be back. Like Lou said, maybe Thursday with our regular squad cast. So until then, squad out.
Peace, ladies and gentlemen.